In 2026, something the industry called impossible happened. Intel started shipping a 2 nanometer class chip before TSMC. After a decade of falling behind, Intel beat the most dominant chip maker on Earth to the punch. The headlines called it the comeback. The numbers say it's more complicated. Because while Intel shipped first, TSMC ships denser, ships far more, and is already sold out through 2027. This is the 2 nanometer foundry war. Intel's 18A against TSMC's N2. By the end of this video, you'll know who's actually ahead, who closes the gap, and who gets paid no matter which one wins. Why does this rivalry matter more than any other in chips? Because whoever wins the leading edge wins the AI era. Every flagship GPU, every phone, every AI accelerator is built on someone's most advanced process. And for 20 years, that someone was almost always TSMC. Intel falling behind nearly broke the company. Now 18A is its do-or-die comeback, the first chip to bring two breakthroughs at once, gate-all-around transistors and backside power delivery, which Intel shipped before TSMC. But a node isn't won on a press release. It's won on 4 battlegrounds: raw transistor density, manufacturing yield, who actually builds on it, and whose roadmap survives. Let's score them one at a time. Battleground 1, density. This is where TSMC still rules. On its N2 process, TSMC packs about 313 million transistors into a single square millimeter. Intel's 18A comes in lower, around 238 million. More transistors per millimeter means smaller, cheaper, more efficient chips, and here TSMC holds a real lead, roughly 30% denser. But Intel didn't just chase density, it bet on 2 architectural firsts. RibbonFET, its version of gate-all-around transistors where the gate wraps the channel on all 4 sides for cleaner switching. In PowerVia, backside power delivery, routing power underneath the transistors instead of fighting for room on top. TSMC's base N2 doesn't have backside power yet. It arrives a node later. So the scorecard splits. TSMC wins raw density, but Intel shipped the harder architecture first. Density isn't everything. It's just the first round. Battleground 2, yield. This is the comeback metric. Yield is the share of chips on a wafer that actually work, and it decides whether a node prints money or burns it. 2 years ago, Intel's 18A yield was reported around 10%, a disaster. By late 2025, Intel had hauled it up to 55 to 60%. Profitability needs about 70, which Intel targets by late 2026, with industry standard 80% expected in 2027. That climb, from 10 to 60, is the real story of Intel's revival. But TSMC isn't standing still. Its N2 yield is already around 65% and heading for the high 70s as it matures. And unlike Intel, TSMC is doing it at enormous volume with the line sold out. So Intel closed a terrifying gap. But TSMC is yielding higher, at far greater scale today. Round 2 goes to TSMC on points. Battleground 3, who actually builds on it. A process is only as valuable as the chips that ship on it, and here the gap is widest. TSMC's N2 is the default for the entire industry. Apple fighting for capacity, NVIDIA front and center, AMD, the whole fabless world, all on a mature, trusted toolkit. It's sold out because everyone wants in. Intel's Foundry is younger, and for years it had almost no outside customers. That just changed. Microsoft signed Intel to build its Maya AI accelerator on 18A. Amazon is co-developing a custom AI chip. NVIDIA has explored 18A for some parts, and Google is reportedly in talks. And Intel's own Panther Lake laptop chip, the first consumer 18A part, beat Apple's latest on battery life. These are real marquee wins, but they're first wins, not a full ecosystem. Round 3, TSMC decisively, for now. Battleground 4, the roadmap, because this war is really about the node after this one. TSMC's advantage compounds. Its volume funds the next steps. N2P with backside power this year, then A16 with a superpower rail, then A14. each one paid for by a sold-out predecessor. Intel's path is steeper and lonelier. Its real make-or-break isn't 18A, it's 14A, the node where Intel bets on next-generation high-NA EUV machines to finally leapfrog TSMC. But 14A reportedly needs a major external customer to justify building it. If Microsoft, Amazon, or Nvidia commit, Intel has a future at the leading edge. If they don't, Intel has hinted it might not build 14A at all. So TSMC's roadmap is funded. Intel's is conditional. The frontier doesn't reward the company that catches up once. It rewards the one that can keep paying to stay there. So, who wins the 2-nanometer war? On the scoreboard, through 2027, the honest verdict is TSMC. Denser, yielding higher at far greater volume, sold out to every major customer with a roadmap its own profits pay for. Intel's 18A is a genuine comeback. Backside power first, real Microsoft and Amazon wins. A climb from 10% yield to 60. If 14A lands an anchor customer, 2028 becomes a real fight. But the verdict this channel exists for is who gets paid no matter which logo wins. Winner 1, ASML. Every 2-nanometer wafer, Intel's or TSMC's, is patterned by an ASML machine. And Intel's entire 14A comeback is a bet on buying ASML's High-NA tools first. The harder both fight, the more ASML sells. Winner 2, the equipment and materials makers. Applied Materials, Lam, Tokyo Electron, who tool every fab on both sides. 2 companies racing on the battlefield. A handful of companies own the battlefield. In semiconductors, the house always wins. This is Silicon Showdowns. 2 companies, 1 choke point, 1 verdict on who actually wins. No press releases, no fan theories. The actual semiconductor industry view with the numbers to back it. If you want the round before this one, how Intel and TSMC are already fighting the same war underneath the transistor, watch the backside power showdown on your screen now, and subscribe so the next showdown finds you. The Foundry war is decided in the supply chain. Here, we keep score.